So it says here, Japan is confused by the backlash over McDonald's happy anime family ad. Oh, this is being brought up again? I thought this was like this was like 5 years ago.
So do you guys remember that McDonald's commercial with the happy family and the little ginger girl happily eating her French fries and how it made people angry? It actually did make people angry. They're trying to retcon that. They're trying to say it didn't make people angry. But,
oh, it totally did. We did a video on it because I was joking that it reminded me of us when the kids were little.
Yes.
Both our kids are ginger like mom, and it reminded me of our kids because they loved the French fries and stuff like that at McDonald's. And we talked about it and how we thought it was adorable. Whenever I was having a hissy about it. Yes.
So anyway, it's trending again like 2 or 3 years after the fact because now that the Japanese are able to understand us better on Twitter thanks to an algorithm shift, they're asking questions. They're like, why?
Because in the West, being hetero is evil. So because they see a McDonald's commercial that's made for the Japanese, who's probably overly more hetero than us, it made them mad because it's like you're pushing something. That's what it is. Because there was no LGBT individual in the ad. That's why.
Why was this so offensive?
That's a good question. We never understood it either.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this, and the reason people were so offended by this, if I recall correctly, was because it showed a happy nuclear family, and over here in America, there was a concerted effort to basically shame you if you wanted to have kids and have a happy family.
Yeah, I think, in my honest opinion, as time goes by, the West, specifically Americans, not all, I'll say like twice, or probably not all, a good portion of Americans, I'll say like about 20%, or at least 10 to 20%, has a nihilistic take on the world, and those people screech the most. I think that percentage is even a little too high. I'm giving it, I'm probably 5 or less, but they scream the most about having nihilistic takes, and then. So like for instance, like what I mean by this is like Hassan, for instance, he said, if you're a man and that evergreen hair color, I'd be surprised. Yeah, he said technically if you're a man who's playing Pragmata and it inspires you to be a father, you are by default an incel. How does that make any sense? You're an incel because you want to play a game that inspires you to be a better father, or just want to be a father in general, or like say you're not you have no kids but you want to be a dad, or say you do have kids, it inspires you to be a better father than you are now. Somehow that makes you an incel. And because he made that take, Shuon had heard and saw what he said, and she put him in his place. Now everyone just brings up Shuon head whenever they can, just upset this man. So.
And basically a traditional nuclear hetero relationship, those things were frowned upon. Everything had to be DEI and diverse, inclusive, and alternative lifestyles.
People were mad. Were they mad about that one video game because it was like all these guys were like, oh, I want to have kids someday and stuff because of the video game?
Oh, Pragmata. Yeah.
And they were mad about that too.
Yeah.
I guess that's what
I don't know. Just sit and spin, I guess.
So let's talk about this again, because now the Japanese are baffled as to why America would be offended by this very cute, very wholesome commercial. It's complicated, so we'll talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Who is a ginger and who gave me ginger babies. And
my ginger stronger. Woo!
They are. Yeah, both kids wound up having red hair. It was
and
weird.
Blue eyes. So yeah.
Yeah. You beat me.
I won again.
She beat me good. So this is more.clownshishtv.com. If you're looking for more Clownfish TV, we've got more podcasts and videos out there that you will not find on YouTube, and they will not ever be put on YouTube. So check it out at more.clownshishtv.com. So yeah, this is coming up again because we've got a very simple question. We have a Japanese person saying, by the way, why did this ad go viral overseas? It's just a family eating at McDonald's, nothing more. Back then I was puzzled, but now that I have overseas followers, I can finally ask. I'm getting so many. Let's see, people. Oh, they actually blocked the responses here. Let's see what people are saying.
Who blocked the responses?
He did. I think only some accounts can reply because people are probably like, what's going on here?
I remember we did the video on it. They were so mad because they were focusing on nuclear family, and they were mad because they were ginger and they were light skinned. They were all mad. So that is kind of turned away. But it's not propaganda in the fact that people were mad about that commercial. It literally happened because we were like,
if I remember right, I think an LGBTQ plus individual who happened to be an insane activist dude who wears women's clothing. I think he went to McDonald's and made like a TikTok within McDonald's saying how the ad is hurting him or something because it doesn't push LGBT stuff or some crap, when it was not even pushing anything hetero. It just literally, like, it was not about the heterosexual, it was just about the food and the anime. Because it was like any basic family you can probably think of. That's what made it crazy. Yeah, I made the same face. It was a black guy. It was a black guy who puts on women's clothing who claims that the commercial hurts his whole existence or some shit like that. Correct.
You were like that too. We're like, why are you so mad about this commercial? And there's you can go back to the time. It probably has people's reactions to it then. So don't tell me it was propaganda. Propaganda my ass.
Okay, so here we go. So this is because it was quite a weirdly disproportionate negative reaction to a very innocuous commercial. But this is Niana's side of anyway, this I can't pronounce her name. Because here in America, everything, especially media, must include black and brown people, gay people, trans people, interracial couples. Nothing can be kind, happy, or wholesome. Sadly, it's going to happen in Japan as well if you let it all in the
you don't know what those people identify as in the video. They're family, but you don't know if one of them is trans or whatever. You don't know what the dad is because the kid has red hair. It's like our family where the redhead genes went out. You don't know that. So I mean, that's an awful lot of assumptions that these people are making. The people that don't assume my gender are making an awful lot of assumptions, aren't they?
I don't remember.
Yes, people who usually make those type of complaints are usually people who do even more than the person they're complaining about. What was that one chick I hated in Euphoria? For those who watch Euphoria, I watch it with a girlfriend, so like. On Euphoria, there's a character who I think it was Cassie's sister. She said, "Oh, I hate dealing with Christians. I hate Christians." And she was like, "Why? Why do you hate Christians?" And she's like, "Because they're so judgmental and shit." The irony in that was so horrendous because all the bitch does is do that. You become what you hate. That is so true that it's not even funny. She said, "They're so judgmental." You know, that's all she fucking do in the show. She judges everyone every 5 seconds. I wouldn't mind if she did it if she said, "Well, I'm a Christian person. I'm trying to hold morality up." That's fine. But like, I get like if she was a Christian or a staunch Christian and conservative, like, and she was saying this thing she was saying, I have no issue with her because like at least she's consistent. Right? Like her sister was I think in the show, her sister has an OF, so she tries to like expose her sister for like, it's not really a spoiler, but I'm not giving any spoilers, just to let anyone know. But she tries to like expose her sister to some higher ups about her OF, and then she kind of like it backfires on her a little bit when she tried to like get her sister fired for having OF.
There being a lot of backlash about the color of the family because it's just assumed they're Japanese.
See, that's the weirdest part. It's made by Asian people, right? Asian people, and has a similar or at least closest thing to a white person's skin, right? So why do they keep associating to like it's to whiteness or something?
Same with if you're watching anime or manga, just assume that even if they have blue hair, purple hair, whatever, that they're technically Japanese. I thought it was all about the fact that it was a happy nuclear family, and that was a problem.
Well, I think that's probably what it is. They're trying to reconcile. But I'm like, you know what? They're ginger. It's basically the same as being a different ethnicity.
There you go, right?
That's Hollywood.
So the original poster said, "Thank you for your reply. I've also learned about from other Americans. Yeah, I got real scared that Japan might end up that way. Okay, that's why you turned the replies off. For now, as you can see from watching anime or reading manga, it hasn't been affected at all, but it's not impossible, right? Well, they're trying really hard. They're trying really hard to turn Japan into California. Punish Mythos Masonry says families are demonized in the West. You never get an ad like this in the West.
Why? They have families on commercials all the time.
They do. I think it's because it's anime, and I think that there's a whole struggle session going on with anime.
Let's be honest. It's anime, which attracts a certain type of people.
Cartoon
who are the
people,
cartoon
yes,
fans,
the
who are
cartoon
the
fans.
insane batshit. You have to show every identity in every cartoon has to represent me in some way, and they're like the shippers and all that, and they're the ones that are no, that's not for everybody, but they're the ones that are coming into anime and they're trying to do to anime what they've done to games and cartoons and everything else, and it's not working that well. They tried and it wasn't working, but it's those people who who hate everything they think is considered conservative, including families or whatever. Even though there's lots of families.
The irony in that is I believe like Japan's like a liberal type conservative compared to like China. Like okay, so if I remember, I think Japan is conservative overall, but the funny thing is like they're more liberal type of conservative. They're like the type of conservative that's like they have conservative values, but they don't outright screech it out. Your haters are for your biggest fans, yeah. Yeah, they usually know how to like promote your shit without realizing it. You gotta duplicate all airflyers to make world peace. But like what was I saying? I forgot. I got lost. Right.
That range all kinds of political ways. But they're just mad because they want it to be what they want it to be. And I guarantee you, a certain kind of person, that's what you mean. The batshit, screaming, far left people who want to control everything, get mad about everything.
It was 1,010 genders and fucking pronouns in their fucking bio, and somehow frees Palestine, and they don't like Jewish people, but they also don't like Nazis. And then they'll say evil things about Jewish people, but also call people Nazis for being mean to Jews. Hassan. But I don't know, bro.
Triggered by everything and tell everybody else what they can and can't like. You have to respect what they think.
Well, okay, so we have one of those people pop in.
Oh, really? Of course we do.
So the OP says, family being demonized, that's insane. Tenacious Dad's like, yes, it is insane. He's insane. This other person pushes back. I noticed a lot of leftists calling it insane, but none of you have posted an example. Go on, post a recent ad with a happy white family. Prove me wrong. Tenacious says, why does it have to be a white family? Why is that the only metric?
Yeah, why is that always the jump to metric? Right? Why is that the always jump to metric? There's white Hispanics. There's white Asians. Free love style. I don't think they like it in the slightest. Free love style. What do you mean free hate? Free hate shrouded in empathy and love. That's really what it truly is. We just use what we do as like it's like we love everyone. We like we love everyone. We want everyone to share their opinion, and then they don't see in the fine print share the right opinion that we like. White black people? Yeah, they do. They call it Zendaya. They do exist. They call it Zendaya, or Marshall Moore, or what's that? The dude from Grey's Anatomy. What's his name? Jesse something. There's Drake. Drake is a super white black person.
He said, because I'm white, and they said, so other families are bad. You had decades of TV showing nothing but white families. That's not enough. Just post
decades of TV showing white families. I think. See, this is exactly when if you are a minority and you liked anime, yeah, that's called mixed. That's what we call it. Sometimes they say half breed too. Half and half. They'll say half and half breed mixed. High yellow. What else? Mutt. What's the next one? There's another one, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, one thing I noticed, and I noticed it is definitely going back. I think a little.
Okay, but mixed can be anything. Yeah, but usually, like, yeah, it's true, but no, true. But like most cases, when they say mixed, they're usually thinking black white. You usually say black white. That's how they usually say it. Because like they'll say mixed, yeah, for like a biracial individual, but like when you ever hear that, you usually think black white. Especially if the person's pretty obvious, like when they're very ambiguous. Most cases. Too many minutes to remember, right? So, right. There's like there's like dark skin, light skin, and then there's bright skin. Why not gray for that? They can, but what happens is when a mixed race person who is black and white tries to stay in their mixed raceness, they end up getting met with a form of especially I will say more on the black side of things, they will get a very visceral reaction saying, nah, you're black. So what they'll do is they'll do this thing where if you're black and white, you ultimately be called black when it's convenient, right? So it's like, say for instance, should be mentioned. So like let me use an example. So like yeah, but that's just DNA. But you're not supposed to deny the other half. It's like, you know what I'm saying, like that's the weirdest thing though. That's always the weirdest thing to me, because like the weirdest thing about that argument is like, yeah, you like obviously if you're the black gene's gonna be more dominant because it's like, you know, but the point is like you're not supposed to deny the other half, right? Yes, you're black, and yes, you have the other thing, but you're not fully black. Just to say you're straight black is insane to me. So you should just deny the other half and pretend it doesn't exist. You're just black. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never really understood that logic.
More to center, but they're once you start to notice, like especially during the pandemic, almost all the ads, beyond the fact that they had masks, everybody's wearing masks, which was weird. But every family, if there were white people in it, it was always an interracial couple, always.
Well, that's true. But I don't think they're still showing families. You know,
they're still showing families. But
the issue is about traditional family.
And these people are Japanese.
Like most mixed race individuals, like if you're black white, they're more quick to say how much they're black, but they're very not as quick to say how much they're white. That's what I'm saying. It's very weird.
I mean, they're not even white. It's.
But I'm just saying. I mean, like that's
their mom will be straight up like a lily ghost of like a white woman, and their dad will be like some black guy. Or vice versa. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. You saw that video? I know what you're talking about. I seen that video. I heard using your voice. I know that video you're talking about. He's straight up Italian, but he's like, I think he says dad is black, but his mom's white, but he looks more Italian or some shit like that. I think I know what you're talking about. It was funny as hell.
A big deal. I mean, that's like you're nitpicking now because you're still showing traditional families. You're just mad because they're white families, and I'm like, but that's not really fair.
I'm not mad they're not white
Oh, not
families.
you, that
Okay.
person. The person that was commenting, not you. What I'm saying is, it's like I think it's still showing families. That's why I said earlier, I'm like, no, they're still commercials of families.
I thought, I mean, again, maybe
Like, let's just say, let's say say your black half. Let's say your black half is like 60%, and your white half is like what, 40%. I think that makes 100. You're more half. You're still like, you know, technically half to a degree that you can like see it, especially if you're ambiguous. But like to totally like disregard the other half and just claim one side is insane. I think that's kind of dumb to do because you're just denying one parent. Well, depending on your relationship with your parent, but let's just say you have a loving parent and you have to be you're a mixed race individual, whether you're black, white, or Asian black, or whatever case may be. Like, yeah, you have black in you, but you're not gonna just claim you're just black and that's it. Because it's the weirdest thing. They'll be like those white people who have like a half black child or half black something. I mean, half white, half something, and they'll refer to that child as that other half, but not as white. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't see the child as like one of them. They see them as the other race, but then again, also claim it at the same time. It's a weird thing. Yeah, it's like they don't even refer to it as biracial. They refer to it as the other half of what they are. So they'll be like I'm not racist. I have black. My kids are black. They'll refer to the kids as black, but they'll never refer to them as the other half. That's where the weirdness comes in for me. They never really claim them as the race that they're saying that they're not racist towards, but they also claim them as the race that they're not you. It's a very weird, complex thing. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking. So like, say you're like your white dad or a white mom, they will refer to their kids as more Asian than white, so they just like, disregard the white half of them. And then whenever there's like a conversation about, let's say like Asian people, something that deals with their kids within the conversation of their ethnicity, they'll refer to them as just Asian, but not white. You know what I'm saying? Like, he used me up. Let me see. He said, no, he got arrested for the shit gang. Even that ain't enough. What do you mean? I don't know. It's not reading my head, so I have to read everything back what you said. How dare you that one on the McDonald's not look like me on the same time? Do you think that he's 87% likely to be pulled over? That just depends on your driving. If you drive shitty. That's how I look at it. If you drive shitty. And like, how, like 9 times out of 10, you can't even tell the person's a race because most people has their cars tinted. It's kind of hard to see people pass by. It's really hard to know. So if you're driving past the certain speed limit or you just drive shitty, you deserve to get pulled. I don't give a fuck what kind of race you are. Throw on your seatbelt. Don't drive so goddamn fast, and you know, obey the law, and things will be fine. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying like he is using 30. He's using the 30% that day. Yeah, you should use that 30% when he's driving. What the fuck? All right, that keeps me up at night. I always think of this. So you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not just talking out my ass, right?
I'm misremembering this, but I thought the discussion was they were mad that they were like, it was propaganda for people to go reproduce. But it's also like in Japan, things are so bad now that they're paying singles to go on dates, to use apps, dating apps. Like, that's how the birth rates in Japan are terrible because
I'm 102 African, which with a 2% margin of error. God damn it.
you know, I think the machine is kind of not that it's the wokeness or whatever, but just the just surviving in Japan,
Well, I think
working all the
that's it. And
time.
even here too, it's just everybody has to survive, and you have to work how many jobs, and then you don't have the money to have kids. And if they want kids, we need more birth rates. I'm like, well, then
make shit more cheaper, then you get more kids. That's just how it goes. If the economy is crappy, you're not gonna have more kids. Only poor-minded, horrible decision-making individuals do this. Like, it's the weirdest thing. It's like my father-in-law. He'll ask the question. He'll be like, so when you and my daughter's gonna have children? I'm like, we're not even married yet. Why the fuck are you asking that stupid ass question? Like, that's one. And then two is like, even if we were married right now, you as a grown man can't even pay your car note. What are you talking about? Like, we're just getting by. We're all like, literally, majority of us are just surviving at this point. We're not talking about no stupid ass kids. Like, don't get me wrong. No, I want some little like Artextrics running around myself, whether it's a girl or a boy. But the problem is, I can't have them right now. That's why it's my job as a man to save as much money, and make the right decisions for not only myself but for my future wife. Why jump into something that everyone's doing just to make myself even financially more crippled than I am now? What the fuck is that? That is dumb as hell. Who had like that's it's so like strangely tone deaf and strangely like lack of self-awareness of you are like near the age of 60 and you can hardly pay for anything. Why the hell someone who's like 30 years younger than you are is going to make financial horrible decisions having a kid? Because like paying rent is very hard enough for most people. Like rent is like average like $2,000. That's most people's paycheck. Most people are paying paycheck to paycheck. Like why the fuck would I do this? And you're like it's easy for you to ask me and her to have children because you already had children in the 80s. Or 90s, where you can literally work as a McDonald's person and still have a house. Or at least know you can pay your rent with that one job. Most of your rent will be covered by that one job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so stupid. It's like, why are you asking just a backward ass question? And then when you check them on this, they have an attitude with you. Like why would I put your daughter in a like bro, you know how expensive just going to see the doctor alone with a pregnant woman? Like most people don't want to go in the fucking ambulance when they break their arm. They'd rather just walk there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Let me see. The work hours are awful, especially for animators. That's just people waking up, right? Thinking is not hard, right? Exactly. Tell him she's the man and her nickname is really Peggy. He'll stop asking you that question. Sad. Chill. Hey, yo, chill. You gotta chill, bro. Let me see. Tell him she's a man of her nickname. All right. Let me see. Like, I'm saying, my mother-in-law keeps asking when me and my GF are going to have a baby when living on our own. When we live on, like, why? You notice that the question is never when you're gonna get married. The question is like when you're gonna have a kid. That shows how far gone we are as a society. We don't even put like the marriage thing in like as a form of importance, which was funny because the LGBT people was fighting for that since 2008. They got that now, and you know what I'm saying? Now we as heteros, we don't even care about the so-called matrimony. We just want to see when you're gonna fuck my daughter and get her pregnant, so we can put ourselves in more financial ruin if possible. I'm like, bro, what is this? Like, I noticed this with more older people who've been asking millennials or at least early Gen Z these questions. Like, when are you gonna have kids when you're not even married? Like, it's the most wildest thing. It's like, it's insane. Like, it's like a lack of like self-awareness. I'm like, there's a reason why you should get married first because there's like there's a maturity like component to it. You know what I'm saying? Other than like the financial stuff that, you know, but like there's a maturity component to it. I'm not even talking about religious wise. I'm just even talking about just there's a like an understanding. You know what I'm saying? That this is serious, right? But like to just jump into the kids part is like insane. Hey Jared, what's going on, bud? Let me see. Yeah, that's wild. I'm gonna slime these ads. It's like it's weird. It's weird as hell.
I'll make everything so fucking expensive so people can't have kids. You know what I mean?
That is.
I ultimately just blame the government just making it easy for all these stupid social programs and stuff like that. I think that's what that is. So if shit goes left with me and like the particular girlfriend at the time, she'll be fine because she'll have a bunch of like government help. Unlike me, I'll have to pay child support anyway, whether I get to see. And that's the wild thing. You have probably the new guy just more excuses than you did. Like it's like, and then she has every program that's going to help her. This is why my mom was saying like 3 days ago. I think we was doing a reaction. She was talking about that. And this is where the tone deafness comes in, was when she said something around the lines that if you're a single mom, if you're a person who doesn't have children, you should feel ashamed of yourself because there are single moms out here who are trying to get the same job as you. I'm like, that's your fucking fault. You're the one who had the kid. Like it's just like you executively made a choice. It's not like you didn't even get married first and had a kid. You had a kid. It was not even like forced upon you type shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like you made the executive decision to have it.
Trying to destroy the nuclear family. Now, growing up, all I remember hearing about was how the world was overpopulated. There's too many people.
Oh yeah, that was Bill Gates saying that shit. Bill Gates like the idea of the annihilation of all people. Irony, he has like 5 kids or 6 of them, I think. I think like Bill Gates has like 6, and then Elon Musk has like what, just as much. I think he has like 6 kids, 7 kids, or some shit. Billionaires having the most kids, but telling everyone that you should not have kids. Like it's the weirdest thing. It's like what?
Too many people. Now you got like people like Elon Musk. Like,
holy moly, it's 10. I thought it was 6. What the hell? Oh, he's a billionaire, so I guess he can afford it. But damn, 10
people. What are we gonna do? And that's kind of the result of that.
I think that's the only justification to have that in double digits of children if you're a billionaire. Actually, Elon Musk has 10, and he advocates for people to have as many as possible. Hey, that's good. I like that. When someone called him out on it, he said, "Just do him apart." Just do him apart.
Right, and then they're like telling women to go get jobs, put off having a family or don't have a family. And now
that's where the nihilists take from feminists. They said, don't have a family. Well, think about your career. And then when they're like a career woman within like in their mid to late 30s and early 40s, or like in their mid 30s, they want a family now. They want a baby. The clock's ticking. All that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And we're like declining birth rates. Who's going to take over when it's like, well,
some people want to take over.
No, some people want to. But I'm just saying, it is. There definitely is a. I'm even noticing it that there's a difference. Like I'm not seeing a lot of young families just out and about like there was back in our day. Like you don't really see it. And I think the expense of having a family is a big part of it.
I also think Gen Z is more about family and more about going back to like the old stuff and wishing.
Gen Z? Oh fuck no. Oh no. You mean millennials? Millennials wanted that shit. I don't know what you're talking about. Gen Z. The fuck?
They were born a different time and all that. So you might see an uptick of that here soon. But I think millennials, the younger millennials especially, were like, no. But I think honestly the biggest meltdown about the family
man shooting rockets in space. You can't afford 20 more kids.
Situation. And it did happen with that commercial because I remember. It was the fact that you get these people that, like you said, it looks like anime in Japan, and they think that they've been trying really effing hard to push their agendas and their what they want to see into Japan. It's not working, but they have been going overtime because they got gaming and they got cartoons. And
because fucking Japan is based.
Now they're trying to go for anime, and so they're the ones that were screaming the loudest. They're the ones that are mad about it because most more people don't. They didn't think anything of it. It was just a really flippin' cute commercial, and that's all you thought about it. I was like, why don't we get commercials like that over here? That was my thought, and I thought it was cute because it reminded me of me and you and the kids because that's what it was like. Dark hair, you, tall, dark hair, you, me, looking like the kids with our daughter even had that same haircut, and so did I.
Yeah.
So we did. We had
fuck you both. I hate you both.
Same haircut as the mom and daughter.
I want that. I would kill for that. I hate you both.
The commercial. So for me, it was even more so like it's our family, and I would love to see commercials like that over here. But it's these people that now get a megaphone and scream all the damn time. When you talk about vocal minorities, it's that, and then they're like, it's terrible. It's just what is this crap? But then when they had the commercial where they had the Halloween characters and a couple of them like they were like LGBTQ or whatever, that was the bomb. That was the greatest commercial ever. You remember?
Yeah.
The toys or whatever. And
yeah.
So I'm like, yeah.
It's So they said this is what Emperor Zeta says. Our ads in America are so loud, abrasive, and quite frankly degenerate that seeing happy family having a meal together caused a scene.
Yeah, it did though. They're trying to say it didn't, but it did.
Yeah.
Anyone who had a problem with that commercial, that anime gift commercial about McDonald's, you are degenerate. I don't care. You watch me. You're degenerate. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I'm dead serious. I know that's not a great take of saying it, but like you're a degenerate. Somehow you seeing that made you upset, or you think that's some type of patriarchal Nazism type nonsense. You're not well. You are not well. It's like that. Seeing that is equivalent as when a lot of stupid feminist women was complaining about what do you call it? Sydney Sweeney's jeans or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that was dumb. And then they kept on saying it was pushing some type of patriarchy nonsense, and I'm like, Jesus, man, can't have one good thing. We can't have like one girl, like one chick with some ass or some titties just to say some stupid slogan and sell some jeans. We gotta demonize men for that one too. Somehow that's men's fault. But y'all be idolizing people like Ice Spice who shake her ass on a concert talking about her booty brown or something. No, that's a sexy red. Talking about her booty brown or some shit, and then Ice Spice talking about you're not even the fart and talking about her farts and shit. Yeah, you want to idolize that punk ass bitches.
The OP says reading replies from everyone made me feel so sad. The overseas followers I've met here were also kind of friendly, and I love them dearly. So it fills me with.
You don't know about the commercial thing? No, it's sad. You know, you're rage baiting. I know you're rage baiting. Fuck that. I'm so confused, but bro, I don't take any people say on Twitter seriously anymore. You can't. You really can't. You really, especially on Blue Sky, don't take them serious at all.
Anger to think why such wonderful people have to go through painful experiences. It was an era. Like I don't think.
To be honest, kids would be a dumpster juice. What? Probably. Kids would probably be dumpster juice personality wise if he was too many, maybe. Oh, do I have a funny clip for you? Oh, you got a clip for me? Send it to me. Let me see. I'm not gonna lie. Why is this thing not reading my ear? I like when I'm reading my ear so I can pay attention to you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of bet a lot.
It's really. I think things are kind of going back to.
Well, Gen Z is way more based.
Yeah. This person said to them, it's also why Japanese media like anime is so popular overseas because Japan still values tradition and family. So it ends up being an escape for us Westerners. Unfortunately, it's reached a point where it's so popular that some people are demanding change in Japanese values.
That's what I'm saying. These people go to countries like the one model that was mad because they wouldn't give her the Japanese modeling gigs. And it's like, but their beauty standards, you might not agree with it, but it's their culture and their beauty standards are well known. And I mean, I'm not saying that they weren't a pretty person. It's just that they weren't going to fit. Like I couldn't go over there and demand it. My beauty standards wouldn't fit either. You know what I mean?
But that's why you lack self-awareness. When you're that tone deaf to the point that you are demanding a whole different culture to change their history and values for your bullshit is crazy. That's like equivalent of those fat activist bitches who will go up to like planes and say they'll sue them for not having chairs that are made straight strictly for them when they know, or they ignorantly don't know, that if they made chairs specifically for them for the airplane, that's even not even more money, but there'll be more, I think, gas being used to accommodate your punk ass weight. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, or like when people say you don't have like a size for me at like, and they'll try to like sue like the brands because they don't have a extra double extra large with the slushy type size for you. And if they don't have it, you're being discriminatory. No, you need to lose fucking weight. Like, off rip. Like, we gotta start telling people the truth. You need to lose weight. You're going to die. You're not gonna make it at 35 if you keep doing this bullshit.
I mean, and you can't just go in there and demand stuff. It's like, well, I was considered like gorgeous back home, well, then go back home and be a model. I mean,
yeah.
not everybody has to change to accommodate you, and that's what they're mad about because they have this mentality, especially in America. We're gonna come over and take over, and you're gonna have to let us. And if you don't let us, you're a bigot. So people let them walk all over you, which we saw with in gaming and cartoons and just in life. And now they're like, they push back, and as they should.
So this person, the OP said, yeah, seems people overseas had a positive impression of the scene depicted in the advertisement. I mistakenly thought it went viral because it was taken negatively. It was by certain people.
But the majority of people took it negatively. It's just that all the outlets, their friends work there, and they're all running with it. And they're trying to, like, on social media, them and their alt accounts trying to make it sound like it was a bigger deal. Most people thought it was absolutely stupid that people were saying that. Most people thought it was cute.
Unless you were terminally online, you weren't even aware of this ad existed because it was only on like X and Blue Sky and stuff. Yeah. So he said, I posted this on a whim after vaguely remembering it, but I'm truly grateful for all the replies from everyone, more than I expected. Yeah, Japanese have been asking English speakers a lot of questions about food, mostly food. Most of the questions are about food. So maybe this is related because it's McDonald's. But it was kind of like, I don't understand why this was controversial. And they're like, oh, that's why Spy Family is so popular.
It's funny. It's just like, it's mainly about food. Ain't that what the questions should be? Like, where it's to begin and stop at? Given that it's a commercial about McDonald's.
Spy X Family. I love it.
Let me see. I missed what you said. Or big foodie. Big. Let me see. All I am saying is that we're 2-4-0 on nukes working out. 2-0 for nukes working out.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's such a cute show. Except you don't like the American voice actor for Anya because
oh my god, Anya's voice is like, yeah, she sounds very special. So this person here said it was just an ordinary glass of water. Why do these people trapped in the desert care so much about it? The ordinary everyday things you take for granted, like showing happy families, were systemically stamped out overseas. At least in media, it was everything was anti-family.
But this is why people are turning against this stuff. This is why people turn against Hollywood. This is why people are turning against Disney. This is why people are turning against all these things.
Most of those people are Satanist, fucking pedophilic, Freemason motherfuckers. Most of them are infiltrated by Satanists anyway. Baby eating pedophilic crazy people. People are now on their bullshit because they pushed too hard and made it too obvious. It was more like those things was more like now on the surface level of like, oh, you're just conspiracy theory, you just hate Hollywood because you won't get hired for said role. Now that is such a normal thing now to know. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I'm not gonna lie, why do they like us for real? They like us for real after the news? They mean like us. What do you mean by like? Let me see. Satanists aren't always that bad. Okay. Because you mentioned Halloween, you made me think of the clip I sent you. Okay, we're gonna look at that after this. Anyway, I'm gonna go soon. Okay, let it be.
Is because they're trying to push these things on people, and people don't want it. They're rejecting it, which is why anime and things like that are super popular over here. Like, I mostly watch K-dramas. I was joking with you in the car. I'm like, K-dramas, C-dramas are better shows. What we're getting out through that. All you see is the small percentage that isn't the majority.
It's a disproportionate. There was in an effort to, again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. In an effort to be more inclusive of every.
No, I think the reason why everyone was more into center because the thing is, we were all, as a whole, from 2005 and back, we will all get the same news at around the same time because it came through the same channels, right? Now we get different news and different information from different places, from YouTube, your cable box if you still have one, article here and there, your friend, like you're getting it from different. It's like everything is just basically telephone to a degree, right? Especially if you're not gonna put the due diligence to like research that stuff, especially if it's something like heinous or something that's serious. A lot of people are too lazy to do that because they don't want to, because well, obviously they're lazy. So but also like because like I said before, like the internet was the people who was around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was your parents, it was your in-laws, your friends, the community, things that you took part of, whether it be in church or it was in school or it was a after-school special program, whether it be soccer or whatever, right? Because like if you watch any like comedy movies specifically, if you watch any comedy movies between, I'll say 2005 or at least max 2010 back, there's a stark difference between how comedy movies was written compared to comedy movies now. Like, watch any old Will Ferrell movies or watch any old SNL type movies from 2010 and back, and there's a stark difference in all the writing. It's so viciously insane but funny now because it's even more funnier now than they were even at the time they came out, because the things that they got to say back then is you cannot say now because either you'll lose your job, and that was one of those. Like, I think that was one of the main reasons why we're in this position where you saying outside of work gets you fired at work. You know what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of people didn't have the balls or the guts to say what they truly want because they're too in fear that they're going to lose their job. And then after that, even if it wasn't their job, it was crazy people trying to figure out where you live, right? Through the internet, right? And that's where I think that problem stems from. I think those two things are the main causes why most people can't be honest, because they don't want to feel the wrath of some crazy person who's going to find them and say what they want, or they don't want to hope that one day HR hears you said something slightly off that was not even applied to whatever it is, as if you was there at work saying it, but because it was outside in your personal life. Therefore, they need to investigate just to make sure you're not a problem in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't get sued because you said something 1,010 years ago. Because you mentioned all of that. I met a couple of Satanists, and out of 5 out of 5, all of them were some of the best people I have in my life, and I still call them time to time. Hey, that's you. Yeah, do your thing, man. I had a boyfriend that was Satanist and didn't end well when I broke up. What? I had a boyfriend that was a Satanist, and it didn't end well when I broke up with him for cheating. Well, you see, I'm talking about older ones universe. Either you choose me or you lose me. I see. But then again, I don't even think, like, I would blame that on Satanism, but then again, there's people who still claim they're Christian and do the same thing. I think ultimately you're just both horrible people at that point. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a Satanist or even a Christian. If you're cheating, it's cheating. A lie is a lie, right? It doesn't even matter what comes out of anyone's mouth. Once you went down that moral path of, like, doing something that harms someone, it don't matter how much your moral standing is, you're still the criminal, right? It sounds like you just experienced a horrible person. Let me see. He was older than me, like late 20s.
everybody, we basically overrepresented certain kinds of families, a certain whatever, and then we excluded more traditional families because we had to show representation. To get to a place where it's like, are you telling me like every family now is not a traditional nuclear family? Like it's, you know,
most of them are. But you know what? Here's the thing: Japan, their anime, they represented all different kinds of diversity and different kinds of families, different kinds of people for years.
Yeah,
it's just normalized, as it was here once upon a time. It was just normalized. You didn't think anything of it. But now you have to destroy one thing to try to make something else seem like it's more important or special. I thought the goal was just to be normal, to be normalized.
No,
it's not. The goal isn't to be normalized. The goal is that you get extra points and high fives and get special treatment because you're you. That's not. And it used to be normalized. Like, I mean, a lot of stuff people didn't think anything of it. You didn't have to partake in whatever, but if you understood there's people than you, and it was not a big deal. But that wasn't good enough. You're supposed to be making a big deal about it because they want extra high fives and points.
Well, this is where it gets interesting though, because again, this comes from Japan. So far we've received reports of situations from people in the U.S., Australia, and Poland that, you know, everything has become weirdly political. It's a sad state of affairs.
It is.
This person
Try
says
living here.
Yeah, it's slowly getting better. But nostalgia for a time before everything was a political message. That's what they liked about it. Before it was deemed to be unacceptable just be yourself. It went viral because it's just a happy family. And the OP says, I totally misunderstood and thought it went viral in a bad way. It was actually the complete opposite. Now I get why Disney ended up like that.
Yes, wow. Thank you. That's what they've been saying, and that's what they're saying. People wanted to go back to being normal before everybody was so polarized against each other. And they said you're not allowed to be yourself. You're yourself. No, you're allowed to be yourself. And everybody has to accept your authentic self if you're a certain type of person. But even anybody else who you should be ashamed of yourself for being who you are. But you have to accept them. And even if you're somebody who's a marginalized group, you have to understand that there's other marginalized groups that we don't have to accept you. You have to accept us.
Yeah, there's some people that
it's
really
ridiculous. It's gotten so ridiculous. And it used to be they used the threat of you're a bigot against you. It worked for years, but now it's not working. People are like, no, F off.
Yeah, and if it doesn't matter, because here's the thing, like the worst thing to them is to be called names or ostracized or whatever. It's like if it doesn't matter what you do, that you're gonna be labeled a bigot anyway.
Yeah, it's like, okay, fine, I guess I'm a bigot. I'm just happily on my way.
Whatever.
Yeah, it gets to that point where it's like, I'm gonna be called.
So I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna care. In fact, what's going on is I think the reason
creating bigotry.
Yes. Full stop. It is. What's going on is because people are being accused of being the worst possible thing ever. That they're all going into their villain arcs, and they're just like, you know what? If I'm going to be accused, I was never racist before. I was never this before. I was never that before. But if I'm going to be accused of it, and these people are causing problems, then I am going to be the bad guy they think.
Well, it's really hard not to consider for people like on both sides because you have people like everybody's being accused of DI hiring if they're not. So it's creating problems for people about the fact that everybody's labeling them as DI even if they weren't. And on the flip side, people are getting really really upset and mad and just assuming everything is racist and stuff when it's not. People are starting to notice, and then they're noticing and they're finding themselves becoming more and more negative where they weren't that way before. And you literally are turning people and causing this as a problem because they're seeing themselves get shafted right and left, and then they're going to blame it on that, even if it's not those people.
Technically, it wasn't converted. It just falls into what you wanted.
It's false. It's just creating problems that we had already resolved. Like when we keep saying for years, like no one cared, and for years it didn't matter.
It fits perfectly in your worldview, so you didn't have to convert. It was right in your ballpark.
We're not just talking our ass. It did it.
So you have to ask yourself who's actually behind it all because it does seem awfully
Well,
coordinated.
when they're paying certain groups to keep perpetuating it, I wonder.
Yeah,
but, allegedly.
Allegedly. So this is this person here, Katsuni Five Tail says, I think some viewed as nostalgia. Many may have heard it was going viral due to the reaction of some. Yeah, because there were some people that were. I remember they were legitimately angry. How dare you show happy family in the cartoon?
If you go find that video, we read comments.
It's a couple years ago. It's out there. There's currently a trend starting in the US about bringing things back. There are even Pizza Hut restaurants modeled like they did in the 80s and 90s. Yes.
I'm so excited. I did a video on it. I'm so excited about it. That makes me so happy. And I want to do more focus on those kind of things, like what's coming back. Like, everybody wants it to turn back. Gen Z predominantly wants things like malls back. They want the pizza experience. They want to go back to connectivity. They're rejecting the technology push. They're rejecting this division, the divisive shit more so than millennials before them. And it's a good thing.
To solve that problem, don't use the internet. That's the funniest thing. Like the irony in this is that for you to have that full experience, you can't use the internet because there was no internet like that. The internet existed in the 80s, but it was not as efficient. It was just a machine that you kind of just did for a few bit of information, not to hang out and talk to people and shit like that. Not like that. They did have chat rooms back then, but it was not as prevalent and as addictive and algorithmic and all that shit that now we do now. And I don't even think a lot of people had good internet connections back then either. So it was more incentivized to call people, talk on the phone, or meet up or some shit. But usually sending messages like it's funny. Like if you watch old Matrix and stuff, it was funny. I may be biased because I only ever had good experience with them. That's where it is. So it falls in your worldview. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the younger ones anyway. It's a good thing. We need to go back to normalcy, and that doesn't mean people can't be who they are. No, you can be who you are. I think most people will be accepting of you. The problem is when you're demanding everybody else to accept you.
The argument's it's like I'm pretty sure most gay people do not want to be bothered with the idea of inclusivity like that. They just want to be left alone and fucking want to just live their life and do whatever they want without talking to some kid in the fucking trying to read a book to some kid who's trying to do acceptance and go on a pride parade and try to twerk at them and shit like that. I'm pretty sure most gay people don't care for that shit, right? But because the minority that speaks the loudest makes them look horrible by default. So.
Everything you do, everything you think, while you tell them you don't have to respect them at all, is a load of shit. And also back to these commercials. These commercials are so effing cute. McDonald's has the flipping cutest commercials in Japan. I would love for the Japanese commercials to come over here because the Japanese commercials are better. I'm sorry, they are.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, I was talking about this one earlier. Yes.
Yeah. So they're doing the Mega Man iced coffee commercial. This came from Super Sissy. I don't know if I can play the music or not. They said using pixel art teasers, the campaign heavily leans into nostalgia by remaking the iconic 2007 internet meme song "Airman Go Taos Nai I Can't Defeat Airman." I do vaguely remember this, but
yeah. So they actually putting it into the coffee instead of a commercial, instead of making it about defeating the characters. They're defeating the being hot and eating a caffeinated beverage. And I think it's great. Why can't we get these commercials over here? I would eat this shit up. Given how popular anime and everything is over here, I think McDonald's is dumb to not bring this stuff over here. Disney Store finally brought the Disney Store Japan stuff over.
The part I don't understand about the whole Satanism thing, if it's supposed to be that opposite of that Christianity, why even bother to be part of it? Why just be either agnostic or we call it atheist? You don't have to submit to any god. You don't have to follow no rules. I don't really see the point.
It sells out almost immediately.
I thought the whole point of most people who don't want to really be in any form of religious stuff is because they don't follow no fuck ass rules.
It's constantly selling out over here because everybody wants it.
I think Universal. Yeah, no, it's really cool. Universal is starting to lean into it because Universal Japan, they have like Sailor Moon, they have Evangelion.
They brought Sailor Moon to fandom nights, but it's only over in the West Coast. The
California.
Yeah, and I'm bummed because they had Sailor Moon. They had the one girl that was actually Japanese. She was doing the Sailor Moon thing in Japanese and stuff. It was awesome. I wish they had it over in Florida because I go down just for that because I'm like, that's so flipping cool.
So yeah, just be more Japan. Be more Japan McDonald's. I mean, they're getting there. They had the anime box not too long ago. And they're doing the K-pop stuff, and you know they're trying to.
That's, yeah, the Korean stuff's incredibly popular over here too, and I love that they're bringing more and more of that in. They did the K-pop Demon Hunters, so yeah, McDonald's gets it. Like McDonald's don't have the best food, and people have a problem with McDonald's, but they do get it, and they do bring the Pokemon over, and they bring the K-pop Demon Hunters in, and they kind of get it. But so they bring these commercials over and things like that because people love it, and that stuff sells out like immediately. Like it's gone like bam, because there's such a demand for it. So please, can we just get like the little cute family commercials over here? And again, I loved it so much because it was Mimi on, and no, it wouldn't have been Squid King because he wasn't a little girl, but it would have been Pinky Boo. Because she literally had the same haircut. I have pictures of her and me with that exact same haircut, and it was it was like us, and I loved it so much. It was definitely for me. It was really representative.
All right, so
I love that too. Look how fun that is. The little finger hearts. I love it. It's great.
All right, I can't defeat the Yellow Devil. That's a whole nother, Airman's easy. Are we gonna wrap this up?
Yeah, sorry, I got excited for a little while. Sorry.
How dare you be excited? You should hate everything and everybody.
Oh, I love this kind of stuff.
All right, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.